your only all-local morning news. Fox 2 News Morning starts now.
Stalking victims, their only form of protection has been this, a personal protection order. Until now. Their mission? To protect. Their services, like no other. These men have been defending women from stalkers. Women like Harvette, who had a persistent and dangerous stalker just 2 years ago.
He would go, he would follow, he would call places and say he was my husband.
How dangerous? Her former real estate client illegally purchased keys to her Southfield apartment for $500.
He was going in and out for 6 months, and I didn't know it until he licked the master bedroom mirror.
It's stories like Harvette's that caught the attention of Detroit's Threat Management Centers, a survival defense training program. They do security for major companies, but it also turns out they ask their employees to volunteer.
We deny the opportunity from violent criminals to get access to the victim.
Since starting the program 10 years ago, no stalker has actually confronted them. That's because stalkers look for easy prey.
Predators choose people that they know cannot defend themselves.
Right now, bodyguards at threat management centers are training women on how to defend themselves from stalkers. This woman's stalker had her fearing for her life.
He would park down the street, he would break in my home. One time he held me hostage for 12 hours.
He persistently terrified her until these guys showed up for work. Here you see them at work. They take the victim home, they check the doors, windows, and patrol her house overnight, making sure the stalker doesn't get close. And another way they help is by installing surveillance equipment and giving victims these personal tracking units where by the push of a button they can be tracked down to their exact location.
This PTU is a life-saving device. This allows us to respond to a person's needs just by pressing this button anywhere in the world.
This woman has been receiving their services for over 2 months and has never felt safer.
I don't have any family, so this has been kind of like my family. Support, new hope, everything.
As for Harvette, she wants to help women in danger too. She started the Michigan Anti-Stalking Coalition and is pushing to start the stalking registry, similar to that of sex offenders, where convicted stalkers' names would appear in a database.
And it would just make it a lot safer. It would be a base for the next victim that they chose to go after.
Meanwhile, Harvette's stalker is behind bars and she's safe, thanks to these men's services.
If you think that they are overly in your space, too much in your space, don't feel bad to push back. No matter how nice the gesture they're doing, you have to feel safe in your own skin, I believe.
Now, threat management centers review all cases before taking them on. If you feel threatened or would like to volunteer your services, visit our website at myfoxdetroit.com. I'm Doda Ljuljdjuraj for Fox 2 News. The man accused of killing 50-year-old Mary Lou Johnson sits behind bars, and people who've had contact with him before say he's been a violent man for quite some time. Friends and relatives moving things out of the home of 37-year-old David Wright, the suspected murderer. They declined to comment, and so did his ex-wife Susan Wright. But this man, Wright's ex-father-in-law, describes him as a violent man who seriously needed help. So fearful that Susan filed a personal protection order against him.
Would you be? Yes, I was very concerned. That's why she didn't live there.
This man tells us much of the same about Wright. He had a run-in with him a few years ago outside of this Home Depot in Chesterfield Township. He said they argued after Wright slammed his car door into his friend's truck, and what transpired next, no one expected.
He goes into the truck, pulls out this crowbar. I just, in a matter of seconds, seen it, was like, holy cow. I took off flying through the parking lot. I'm running around pylon structures. I finally got on the other side of this car, and he's just like this, like a madman, swinging away, you know, and I'm like, holy cow. I'm like, stop, you're crazy.
Nathan says after that, Wright was out of control. He eventually did get arrested and was charged with assault with a dangerous weapon, but pled guilty to a lesser charge of aggravated assault. He got probation and anger management classes. But after the death of Mary Lou Johnson, Nathan says the punishment wasn't nearly enough.
I feel sorry for the ladies' families, to tell you the truth. I feel sorry for the families and that they go through the grieving, because if I had anything I could have done, I would have loved to put that guy behind bars.
Wright's ex-wife stated in a police report one time that he was so angry after spilling a glass of water, he grabbed a full-size recliner and threw it across the room. So quite a track record for some explosive behavior from this guy. But tonight, he sits behind bars with plenty of time to cool off. Reporting from Macomb County, I'm Doda Ljuljdjuraj, Fox 2 News.